All right, guys. This is Acer of Spades, Team TSE State 268. We are number one. This is going to be another segment of my advanced tips. I've already done the advanced building day tips, my top 5 tips for building day. So please go ahead and check that out. As usual, make sure you look for those iCards in the top right. In this particular time, I'll go ahead and place that video at the top right now. If you haven't seen it, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you either liked it, hated it, or wish I added something else. Guys, I'm learning just like you. So please, please, please make sure to give me as much information as possible, and I'll make sure to put it on film and shout you out. Now, speaking of shout outs, I actually owe a couple people, and to be very, very honest, I don't have that list in front of me. I will go get that list. I will make it happen. You guys will get your dedications. Thank you for all you've done so far, and I really appreciate that. Now, before further ado, actually, psych, I got to say one more thing. Doomsday. Guys, the developers have legitimately put us in a great bind, told us like 3 or 4 hours after the start of game day that they were going to launch Doomsday Season 2 on us. And I'm going to say what all of the rest of, 268 was saying. What in the world were you thinking? Of course, we had much more colorful words to say about that, but this is my YouTube channel, so I'm going to try to keep it clean. I hope the developers don't pull some crap like that ever again. We hated it. Now, anyway, let's go ahead and get into the advanced tech day tips. I spent a lot of time figuring that out, and these tips are specifically a deep dive, and I'm not going to waste any further time. Let's get into it. All right, guys, these tips are going to be in order, so we're going to go ahead and get started with tip number 1. It is the Institute to level 20. I'm going to hit the details button on my Institute. I'm going to specifically show you that you're going to have a fast research, which increases the speed in which your researches actually happen. As you can see, the percentages increase as the levels go, but it never goes higher than 100%, and that starts at level 20, guys. The faster you get your base to level 20, and the faster you get your institute to level 20, the faster your technology is going to go. It is a 25% increase between 19 and 20 when you're focusing on tech. And believe me, I have a different order of operations for things, but when you're focusing on tech, getting to Institute level 20 as soon as possible is absolutely crucial. So tip number 1, Institute level 20 as soon as humanly possible. And you're going to get excellent power amounts when you increase that level for building day. So it goes hand in hand with the previous video, and it doubles your research speed effectively. And don't forget, guys, if you end up with the tech buff like I currently have, thank you very much. Shout outs to BLA for giving me that. Not the first person to do it, but one of the many. So thank you very much, guys. You guys are running the state very well. We appreciate you being here. And I got that fancy tech buff token above my base right now. That will give you a significant increase and give you an hour off of your technology. So tech day is going to be cool for me. And more importantly, the scientists, guys. I don't currently have that development hero. If you get the scientists at any point or any capacity, from what I understand, it's the Enzo of tech. Again, I don't even have Enzo, so I'm missing out big time. If you guys paid into it and you guys got that, congratulations. You're really rocking it. But follow these tips and you're only going to do even better. Tip number 2, one of my favorites as well. And again, these are in order, so make sure you watch to the end. Tip number 2 is the tech order. This is actually shouting out my friends at State 449. We're going to go through exactly what I would suggest everyone do in the order that they do it so that you can maximize and get your tech as high as mine or even higher like some of my friends currently have. So first things first, city development right here in the middle, not rapid production. If you can get this to 50%, meaning at least finishing flexible regulation as soon as humanly possible, maxing out these above, you're going to max out how much your RSS is giving you and how much your money is giving you, an increase of up to 30% with flexible regulation. Do that first before you do anything with rapid production. You are going to have to at least start that for one of the, like daily challenges that they give you. You're going to have to start with rapid production, but immediately leave it alone after you open up rapid for each and every one and focus on city development. Next, you're going to go directly into class APC. It is the most important APC, and I'm a huge fan of one APC because that's going to make all the difference between whether or not you're strong or weak, not having 4 mediocre APCs. It will mean nothing. One strong one will destroy it all. So class APC is going to be directly next. Then we're going to walk right into basic combat. And when we get into basic combat, it's going to specifically get you the additional vehicle promotions and attacks on those zombies, which will increase your heroes. And you're going to go all the way through this. This is also going to help you with that very, very important quest that you first get when you start the game. And that is the quest to cleanse all the zombies of the world. So when you get that particular one done, you're going to need to kill basic combat as fast as possible to max out the points on that and get DUI and other fancy purple heroes early on. Next, followed by the most important tech, that is zone commemoration. And while you're trying to figure out zone commemoration, assuming you do things very, very quickly, as fast as possible, you're going to be hitting vehicle tech and basic military on your off time when you're out of courage medals. And then finally, let me just say, don't focus on any other APC, in my opinion. I mean, you can maybe open up the second hero slot on your second APC, which is next to the class hero option. But honestly, it's really not as necessary before literally base level 19. Like, I wouldn't suggest doing that. Just go ahead and speed up to base level 20, or excuse me, 19 at the very minimum. Hang out there, max out the text I mentioned above, and don't worry about anything else until you have nothing but filler time on your hands because you ran out of buildings to upgrade and stuff like that. Tip number 3, the star tiers. A lot of people don't even talk about this, man. So I'm really excited to offer you tip number 3. If you'll notice, the first row's got 1 star, second row's 2, 3, and then down here, once you get past your second row 3, you're going to start getting 4-star tech. For all I know, there's 5-star tech. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still focusing on my 4 and 3-star tech. And anyway, the whole point is with these stars, just so you fully understand, the more stars, the more points. So when you're doing the Tech Day COZ, that specifically means that if you're going to a higher tier level of star, you're basically saying, I'm going to go ahead and have a higher tier level of points when you're doing COZ. However, the alternative, or the one exception, is zone commemoration. This is indeed the most important tech. If I haven't said it 100 times, please check out the zone commemoration video so you guys know the order in which to do things with that. But more importantly for right now, the zone commemoration being the most important will give you the most points. Just as a quick example, if I start the second tier of advanced rewards, it'll give me 3,200 increase in combat power, which the power is 400 points per 1 power. Whereas if I go down here, even to, I don't know, say my vehicle tech, and I go to rolling pin, it takes me, I'd never actually, even if I max out rolling pin cushion, the second tech on my level 3 technology, I'd still only get 520 versus the 3,200 that we just saw. So again, zone commemoration is heavy on points. Do that on Tech Day and Tech Day only if you can help it, because you're going to max out points and you're going to easily kill those chests. Next thing about that, so that you guys have an understanding, always be researching. ABR. I just made up that acronym because, I'm in sales. And yeah, always be researching. So even when you're not doing that, when you have filler time, fill it in with the above technologies mentioned and do it with the lowest point tiers and save the higher point amounts for Tech Day and keep going strong. This is going really fast. Tip number 4, research one type and a secondary at the most. So we already talked about doing one APC at the top over here, but now we're going to talk about vehicle, shooter, and fighter training. This is super important, guys, because a lot of people try to spread it out and mix it up. I decided to go vehicle fighter. It was a good idea. It depends on what you're looking into. However, the most important tech really outside of zone commemoration when it comes to the higher levels especially is vehicle tech. Unfortunately, if anybody told you to go ahead and evenly do that and all of those could be at 80% right now, you're pretty foolish because you can't use all of your troops at one time. With the invention of the war rooms, which we've talked about in previous videos, triple anything is the best way to go. Now, some people are going to argue with me on that, but I'm telling you now, triple vehicle for doubling the speed up, or removing rather the slow types, goes a long way, as well as triple fighter for the buff or triple shooter for the buff. I just really feel like the war room buffs are that crucial. So I think it's a great idea to go ahead and do that. Vehicle is the one training camp that you need to increase at the high level to get to base level 25, and it's also necessary to max out some of the other tech. You do not need to do that with the rest. As a matter of fact, you can technically leave your shooter training camp all the way down to level 13 and still get to base level 25. So as much as I love shooters, and they are, by the way, the strongest the strongest unit type, you don't need them to speed through the base development. So your type of gameplay is going to really dictate what you decide to do. Honestly, I wish I went shooter, but I did not. I decided to go vehicle and fighter, and they all have their strengths. So first things first, it is crucial that you do vehicles first, because like I said, to get to base level 25, it's all about that vehicle encampment. So hoard all your oil, save it up, and do vehicle tech. Next, shooters recommended for the secondary, but it's super expensive when it comes to iron. And God only knows iron is needed for like everything that's important in this game. And it's the hardest of resources to get. Finally, fighter, it's really, really cheap. And because it's literally heavy on food, it's one of my favorite things to do. And it allowed me to breeze through a lot of tech days, which is why I chose fighter as a secondary. Plus, it's incredible with taking tiles back on Doomsday. A lot of people that go vehicle and shooter can't for a very long time go ahead and take their tiles back unless they're using fighters as well, because they have the most destruction power. So again, it's your choice. Just go the direction that you want, that you feel is going to fit you best. All right, guys, finally, and I really appreciate you guys all holding on for me. And I know I talk a lot, but I really want to give you the best information I can. So this is indeed the most important tech tip that I can possibly give you for Tech Day. And like the previous video, it's simply how to maximize. RSS for tech is crucial, like buildings. And guess what? The difference in tech means the difference in the category. So just like the buildings, each and every single technology has a heavier RSS category that they're in. And there's one of my absolute favorites that we need to talk about right now. It's called parts production. This tech right next to vehicle training. What's cool about that is it has tier rows. So if you go to this particular row, even though it's maxed out, that particular row will probably cost a little bit of oil or iron. So will that row. But when you get to the long tier rows here, these 6 quad categories, as well as these 6 quad categories, they only need a little bit of money. Of course, some energy cores, which I've shown you how to get in my expedition videos. I've also told you how to deal with the energy refinery plants. If you have not seen my energy videos or my expedition video, please check that out. But these are particularly food and wood heavy. And what are the easiest resources to come around in here? Food and wood. Most of you guys have a ridiculous amount. If you have not been using, your parts production technology to max out on Tech Day, you've been doing it wrong. So guys, just to give you an example, at 17 out of 20 on tire assembly, if I go ahead and decide to do this, not only is it not going to cost me very much of anything to get it done, but if you look at the points we're talking about, we will go as a literal increase in combat power of 8,992 points, almost 9,000 points just for going up one level. That is absolutely crucial because it will more than crush a purple chest on almost any level, and I am including base level 25. Actually, in most cases, that'll give you like 3 million points, and those 3 million points, guys, convert into 20 million technology points for COZ for one technology. So that's how crucial that is. If you're not doing that to fill in your tech COZ and you are not able to crush it, it's because you really didn't know. So now you know. Start doing your parts tech, get it to those points, use your food and wood if you have excess, and that's going to help you maximize. And then finally, on this particular last part, diamonds are your best friend, guys. When you're getting 20 million points for 2,000 diamonds, you're going to, between the COZ chest and the daily chest that you activated on, you're going to get every single one of those diamonds back plus some. I literally use diamonds all the time on Tech Day, and it is not the same for Building Day. I didn't recommend it on Building Day because if you're doing certain building and upgrades, you're going to end up in a situation where the diamonds do not supersede what you're receiving. But on Tech, you can knock these diamonds right around and actually come out with more than you spent if you do it properly and you maximize checking the RSS that's heavy for each tech and then using it accordingly. Guys, if this information was even remotely helpful, you already know what to do, guys. Please like and subscribe at the bottom. Send me some comments. Tell me how I shouldn't use diamonds because I got to save them for parts and this, that, and the third. Whatever you want to tell me, please do. But after lots and lots of research, I'm here to tell you diamonds on Tech Day are really a great idea. Anyway, guys, this is Acer of Spades. You already know I'm with Team TSC for life. Signing off.